Magandang umaga, hapon at gabi, and welcome back everyone to a new day, a new week, a new episode here on INC Radio's Faith and Melody. Today, we're talking all about how small efforts matter. So we're excited for you to join us, to hear your thoughts, and to also be a part of the conversation that we're going to have today. So sit back, relax, and let's all listen to the first song on today's playlist, the INC original music titled Give Thanks. Kuyatek, take it away.
There are times when I think about my life. I've gone through tribulations and a lot of strife. But the Father helped me through it all. And whenever I wake up in the morning, wake up to a cloudy day, He uses power to chase the clouds away. That's why I give thanks every day, every day. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to the Lord. God knows what I need even before I pray. So all the more I ought to live in righteous life. I'll never let my faith be in vain. No. Nothing is impossible, for the Lord is by my side. He's my inspiration every day from day to night. I'm giving thanks, and the Father's a reason why. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to the Lord. I have just one wish, and that's to be in heaven, receive eternal life and His eternal blessings. Cause we were chosen to someday live eternally. Give thanks for our Father, so kind and caring. I might be weak, but spiritually I'm strong. The Father gives me strength to keep me moving on. It's gratitude for Him being with me while I am living. I'ma set aside my offering and offer Him thanksgiving. Give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks to the Lord. I'm saying give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to the Lord. Give thanks. I am INC.
Don't be afraid to take the baby steps. It's another day. Don't forget God's just a prayer away. Don't give up now. Trust the process and keep learning. And if you need a friend, we're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. Together as a family, in faith and melody.
Welcome everyone to Faith and Melody, the program where we have meaningful conversations about our faith as members of the Church of Christ, while we also listen to INC original music. Uh, Happy viewing to everyone. Greetings to everyone, especially those who are tuning in right now from the Philippines. Good morning, there po. And whether you're tuned in with us live or on the replay later on, welcome to today's episode of Faith and Melody with our topic today, which is Small Efforts Matter. I am your sister, Aribel Celestina, coming all the way from London, United Kingdom, and I will be one of your hosts for today.
Yes, and good day, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. I'm also one of your hosts for today's broadcast, broadcasting all the way here in the land down under the district of Australia West. Australia West. This is your Kuya J Esperanza. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great start to their week, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Still the same, right? Morning, afternoon, or night. Hopefully, everyone's having a great time. And hopefully you can join us as well on today's broadcast. If it is your first time, and of course for all our regular listeners and viewers here on Faith and Melody, this is what you can expect. What we have prepared on today's broadcast. Of course, we have our icebreaker segment coming up in a little bit, just to break the ice before we get into our topic discussion. And then we've got a curated selection of INC or Iglesia Ni Cristo original music. But of course, our Faith and Melody Heartbeat segments allows you to request songs. So maybe you're on your way to work, maybe you're in the middle of work, maybe you're on your way to back home and you're commuting, whatever it might be, if there is an INC original music song that you would like to request for today, let us know there if you're watching us live right now in our live chat on YouTube. And we will get our Kuya Nico and our Kuya Irene to help us out. And hopefully we can play your song request during today's broadcast. But if not, we'll have it noted down so we can play it during the different episodes here on Faith and Melody. Of course, as mentioned earlier, our topic discussion today is small efforts matter. And later on, we've got our verse of the week. So we want you to join us. We want you to really be there, be a part of the conversation. And right now, if you're tuning in, maybe you're on your way somewhere, if you can, say hello in the live chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'll give you a shout out in a very little bit. But we do encourage everyone to subscribe to INC Radio DZM 954 YouTube channel so you can be a part of the discussion. And make sure you hit the like button as well. That's the little thumbs up button if you're not too familiar with it. So right now on YouTube, there should be a little thumbs up button. So you're watching us live, you're watching us in the replay, smash that like button so that more people can get notified that we are live or we've got the broadcast available for them on the replay. And with that, I think it's time for us to proceed on breaking the ice on our segment for today because it's time for our icebreaker.
Icebreaker!
That's right. So today's icebreaker, really, we're going to just catch up with each other. 'Cause, if you haven't realized it, it's actually already the end of the month, right? We're at the last week of December. Well, sorry, not December, November. Not December yet. It's the last week of November, headed into December, towards the end of the year. I'm sure we've had so much great things that we have learned this past month. So really, if you're tuning in with us live or if you're watching the replay, join us in this little icebreaker and just jot down there on our live chat some wins or maybe some lessons or maybe both, some wins or some learnings that you have had this past month of November, because we're towards the end. Like, it's nice to reflect, to look back, and to kind of just like really appreciate on all the things, because you either win or you either learn, right? That's how I like to see things. You're either winning or you're either learning from a situation. So with here on the panel, Sister Bell, over to you first. Maybe if you could share something. How's things actually? How has the month of November been for our Ate Bell?
Well, it's been really busy, especially with the various activities that we had here in Britain South in our district. Yesterday we had our family fun run track and field Unity Games edition, so it was quite fun. Uh, and I think one of the wins that I can take from that is I got to run a bit. That's all I can say. And I mean, I really enjoyed it. Although, one thing that I can take away from that is you really need to stretch out before doing anything sporty, and also cool off or cool down after you've done the sport, because otherwise you're gonna have like cramps, and like you're gonna be even more tired in the following day. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And yeah, it was just fun because me and my sister, Ariane, were able to do a relay as well. Like we were in the same team together, and yeah, it was just quite fun. And if you don't know my sister, she laughs a lot, and her laugh is one of her um main distinctive qualities, if I can say that. And it's a good thing. I mean, everyone's really happy when she laughs. So the point is, when we went against each other, not in the relay but in the 200-meter race like event, she was laughing the whole time. She was laughing the whole time while I was
I'm
running.
assuming. Wait, did you which sister? Because
Oh, sister Arian.
right, yes, okay. I think some of us may have heard Sister Ariane's laugh. It's very, very unique, right? So definitely. So she was laughing the whole time, right?
She was laughing the whole time. And when you're trying to run and like you're in a competition, you're trying to like focus, right? But then when you hear like my sister laugh, it just makes me realize that wow, I can't focus because she's just laughing the whole time. And at some point during the curve in the track, my little brother Nandan, our youngest sibling, he started running with us, not on the track but like on the sidelines, and he kept like screaming. But the point is, he was too close to me, so I was also getting distracted by that. So like yeah, my two siblings, they were just like, it was just a fun race. It was just really funny. But yes, I feel like yeah, it was just a fun experience for me. But
I
what about
love
you,
that.
Jay? Like, did you have any sporty events so far during this month?
We actually, I think I've mentioned this earlier as well in previous episodes, but we recently had the International Unity Games for, now I think it's called soccer, right? Soccer, football, depending on which part of the world that you're in. But we're talking about soccer, where wait, you kick the ball on all of them. But we're talking about an international soccer unity games. We had a lot of brothers and sisters from all over the world fly here into Australia, which was really cool. Now the thing is, it was all the way on the other side of Australia from where I am. So we're in Melbourne, but the event was held over there in Perth. I believe we had a few event coverages that was broadcasted here on INCRadio. And of course, you can check out some of the footage from the different Iglesia Ni Cristo platforms that we have. I believe it's on INC TV. You can check that out as well. But that was so cool to be able to, have that over here in Australia. We had brothers and sisters. I don't know, Sister Belle, do you know if you had any teams from Europe or from your part of the world that flew in? Because I think there might have been. The one that we caught, the game that we caught that we were watching was Australia versus, I think it was one of the teams from the United States. But do you know if any teams from the Europe area flew in for the International Unity Games?
Not that I know of, but that sounded so cool. Being able to meet brethren from all over the world, and just for one sport as well. That's like a unique activity, I feel like, because usually,
Overall,
yeah.
definitely, definitely. Like overall, though, it was really fun. Like if you get to watch the broadcast of it, it was like a really great turnout, really great event, and it just got a chance for I guess people to visit the land down under, right? Because also like from the people in the northern hemisphere, the weather, the seasons are flipped around. So everyone's used to, like, you're all moving towards winter, right? It's getting cooler in your part of the world, right, Sister Belle? Over for
It's
me, it's like it's been really hot lately. It's been I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, we've had over the weekend. like 38-degree days, which is
That's
really
so
hot.
hot.
That's hot. I'm not sure what that is converted to Fahrenheit, but 38 degrees. Yeah, it was a bit of a scorcher those days there. But I also want to say hello because I can see a few comments from our live chat. And I saw one from our executive producer, our sister Des Asenas is there. Aloha to our sister Des. She also shared one here. I think I might have gone past it already. Did you see that? Oh,
Oh
one of
yeah.
her wins from our sister Des was that for sister Des, her and her husband sang at Buklod night. Right? So that's pretty
Wow.
exciting. I know we also had Buklod night over in Australia East. We're gonna have it in Australia West as well. But Buklod night is something that's happening. Buklod are for those married members. They are part of the organization where they are all the married members of the Church of Christ. Yeah, Buklod night. They got to sing or perform a song. I think I saw a photo somewhere floating around. But at the desk, if you've got the video, right? Maybe we can get it played here on Faith and Melody, maybe one day. But with that, let's also say hello to our live viewers, our Ohana that's watching us live right now. Sister Bell, who have you got that's tuning in with us at the moment?
There's a lot of people tuning in with us right now. We have Brother Mario Oka. Thank you for joining. Brother Ivan Kiloy saying greetings, po from the local of Portsmouth, Ecclesiastical District of Britain South. We also have, I think this is Sister Esco Santiago. Good morning.
Yes.
We have Ate Tony Rose Valenzuela saying small, I mean, simple over small. So I feel like that's related to our topic for today. We have
Mm,
here Rod Kahayag saying hello, everyone. Greetings from Livermore, Northeast California. Hello, Pokuya. We also have Sister Diodon Shirley. Good morning, po brethren. Always happy to be here. Watching from Haiti, District of Caribbean. So thank you, sister. And then we also have our sister Nesasenas, since she shared one of her wins for this month. We also have brother Brian Torres saying happy viewing or happy watching from Washington, D.C. And we also have Atakare Shank, good AM to Ohana. And Queer Rod Kahag also shared one of his wins for this month, and he said, recently completed a half marathon and I knew I should have trained more. Didn't reach my goal to finish time, but finished though. So that's great. But what's a half marathon? Like how long is a half marathon? I don't know that, but yeah, if you could.
I think it's been explained here before, but I'm not much of a runner, and I guess you don't really do marathons, Atibel. But yeah, I'm not too sure how long a half marathon is, but I'm sure it's quite far. Right. I don't think that's very impressive though. A half marathon. I know that that's a very long distance, and it requires a lot of fitness. A lot of It's good for the heart. Running is always a good thing. So if you're able to do it, why not? So congratulations, right, for doing a half marathon. And with that, let's do a really quick one for the last part because, as again, we're talking about it's almost the end of the month and we're moving into the final month of the year, home stretch, really, for the year 2024. I had to check my calendar just to make sure what year it was because this year has actually gone by so fast. So, this last one for our icebreaker, let us know what are you looking forward to the most in the next month, in the month of November. What are you looking forward to the most? I mean, apart from, we've got, of course, for us members of the Church of Christ, we have a lot of preparations happening right now for a very special, special event that we do every end of the year to be grateful and thankful to our Almighty God for everything that He does for us. But apart from that special event, Sister Bell, how about you? Is there something in particular, something special that you're looking forward to in the next month?
Um, I mean, of course, Thanksgiving in the church. It's such a blessed occasion, and on top of that, also, when everyone is at home and we're all on vacation, like or holiday season, and everyone is at home and it's cozy. that's what I'm looking forward to right now because we barely get to um spend time um like regularly in terms of like I sometimes I don't get to see my siblings because we have different schedules, or I only see them at night when they're just like really tired or already in bed. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, more family time.
Family time is nice, right? How about from our Ohana, our viewers there? Is there something that you're looking forward to at the end of the year? I think for me, one of the things that comes up towards the end of the year is our daughter's birthday. So she's turning 7 years old, right? She is, I don't know, something about being a parent.
Oh.
7 years old, right? Like, shout out to all the parents out there because I know that you know what I'm feeling. Like when you have your child growing up, right, and they just grow up so quick, and we look back at all the photos, and she goes from chubby to long to chubby, right? So she's like, she's just grown up so I don't know. Really, it's one of those things that we're truly grateful for, and one of the things that we also we thank our Almighty God for. It's just like how well she has developed and grown, and she's turning 7 years old. So, yeah, December is a very happy occasion. Sister Jam's mom also celebrates her birthday in towards the end of December, middle of December. So we have a few birthdays coming up in December, of course. But apart from that, I think just that break that happens towards the end of the year, and you're able to just have a little bit of a you can step away from work a little bit, all the stress and all the pressure, and create some memories and special moments with your loved ones, with your family. So definitely one of those things to look forward to. And with that, is there any other new shout outs from our live chat, Sister Bell?
We have a lot of them actually. We also have Brother Brian Torres saying, another win this past weekend worship service with the beautiful hymns and lesson. And also said, got to see my siblings this weekend for our monthly meet up. This was also our family hour for the weekend. That's really nice, Brother Brian. And then we also have Sister Summer P. I believe she's from the Philippines since she put down a Filipino flag. And Brother Brian Torres also said, looking forward to our family vacation in the Philippines soon, celebrating our daughter's second birthday. So
Woo!
that's
Nice. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Happy advanced birthday.
And Brother Rod also said, I'm looking forward to celebrating Crisel and my 26-year wedding anniversary this coming Thursday, the 28th. Love you, Han. Aw, congrats and happy
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary. Happy anniversary, Kira and Tati Crisel. But yes, thank you so much to everyone. And to everyone that's tuning in right now, I think we have well and truly broken the ice. Wouldn't you agree? Right. So, before we get into our topic discussion, over to you, Sister Bell. You can introduce the next two songs. We have Kuya Rod's song request in here. So, Kuya Rod, stay tuned. We've got your song request that's about to play. Sister Bell, go ahead and intro the next our next musical break.
So we will be playing Kuya Rod's request, which is
Yeah,
uh
good luck. Good luck pronouncing. I actually don't know how to pronounce this, Kuya Rod. I don't think
can
I've
I
heard this
sing
song
it?
before.
Can I just say it in English? I mean, uh, it's we should abound. Michia Fureo. So I'm not sure what language that is, but I hope that you enjoy it, Brother Rod and everyone who's listening as well. And we also have God's elect strive to live in holiness. So we'll be right back and we will start soon with our topic discussion. So continue to stay tuned with us and we'll be right back.
Though the time may seem hard, your love makes it easier for me to go on. And when life troubles try to get in the way, I've got my mind made up. I'm never giving up. Sin is karemerero kwa inu. Forever I will glorify you. I will never turn back. I will never draw back. I will never stop serving your name. I will never go cold in my faith. No matter what troubles I face or the sacrifices it takes. I will never turn back. I will never draw back. Forever I'll praise your name. Your name I'll glorify. Your name. Your name as God's elite I will strive. Yes I will strive to live in holiness. Holiness. Temptations try to lead me astray, but your teachings always point me to the right way. With your love I can overcome anything. Oh yeah yeah. Mafuta mapresha ya bwele nizina yanu nizaita na tate sinizazi ya kukutokoza. Father I will praise you forever. Ipere karemerero kwa inu. Forever I will glorify you. I will never turn back. I will never draw back. I will never stop serving your name. I will never go cold in my faith. No matter what troubles I face or the sacrifices it takes. I will never turn back. I will never draw back. Forever I'll praise your name. Your name I'll glorify. Your name. Your name as God's elite I will strive. Yes I will strive to live in holiness. Holiness. Forever. Forever. Forever I strive to live in holiness. Forever. Forever. Forever I strive to live in holiness. I will never take back. I will never draw back. I will never stop serving your name. I will never go cold in my faith. No matter what troubles I face or the sacrifices it takes. I will never turn back. I will never draw back. Forever I'll praise your name. Your name I'll glorify. Your name. Your name as God's elite I will strive. Yes I will strive to live in holiness. Holiness. Forever. Forever. Forever I strive to live in holiness.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
教会の管理者はいつも教えている信仰希望と愛に満ち溢れようと選ばれたんだ完璧になるために使えるとき喜ぼじゃないか神にふさわしくなるためにシンクト愛の行いをいつも思い出そう主イエスと神への強い希望も強めよう試練に会えばいいの神の助けで乗り越えられる諦めないで愛を持って戦おう 忘れずに力と喜びを得るために選ばれたんだ完璧になるために使える時喜ぼうと何か神にふさわしくなるために満ち溢れよ満ち溢れよ満ち溢れよ信仰希望の愛に満ち溢れよ満ち溢れよ満ち溢れよ信仰希望の愛に
Trust in the Lord God's promise to us all. Trust even when things seem impossible. We are now inside our Lord God's nation. Continue to hope for our promised salvation. Continue in the unseen work of faith in the promised salvation. Patiently wait, let's abound always in the labor of love with firm hope in the promise of our God. Because of our faith, we continue to work. With love, we continue on serving the Lord. Because of hope, we continue on to strive for our Lord Jesus Christ will soon then arrive.
Your requested song. Our favorites. Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
Yes, welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. And those two songs that we just listened to, God Select, Strive to Live in Holiness, and also Kuya Rod Kahayag's song request right there, which was a Japanese song. My first hearing that one, Michi a Fureyo, which is We Should Abound. So great song request. Love that we're always learning and hearing new songs here on Faith and Melody. So another reason why you should be tuned in. So not only do you get to join us in our discussions, but also you get to get some inspiration and get to hear some new songs that we have inside the Church of Christ. But with that, let's proceed to our topic discussion for today, which is, as you can see with our topic, it's about small efforts matter. Because really, whether we're avoiding schoolwork or delaying a project, maybe putting off a big decision, right? Procrastination or is something that affects everyone. We all face it in some shape or form one day or another. And it's that voice in your head that tells you to delay whatever it is that you need to do and do it later. Right? But the longer that we wait, we find out that it's actually hard or difficult to start once you wait for too long. Right? So many times we might overcomplicate a simple situation or a simple action or a task, right? We might overcomplicate it and we end up just procrastinating, right? And not taking any action. So just to kick off the conversation, well, I want to ask everyone, not only here in the panel with your Kuya J, myself, and also with Sister Bell, that all of you are Ohana there that's tuned in right now in our live chat. Or if you're watching the replay, join in the discussion as well by writing in the comments. What does procrastination look like to you? Is it something that you've experienced? Maybe you can share with us for you when you realize that you're procrastinating. What does that look like? Share with us. You're being a little bit vulnerable here, right? If you're sharing a little bit of when you're admitting that you've procrastinated before, but don't worry, it's fine. It's something that affects everyone. We've all had a part, a moment in time when when we have procrastinated doing something or taking action with a project. So, Sister Bell, want to hear your thoughts on this first. What does procrastination look like for you?
I feel like it's like when you're kind of distracted or you're like you're tired and you feel like the task that you need to do is so easy that you can do it later. Sometimes it really like depends on like what the task is.
Mm.
Sometimes when it's like just really easy, you're like, oh, I can just take a nap, or I can just go on like social media and doom scroll.
That's what you end up doing, right? You just end up watching all these shorts and reels, and you just end up doom scrolling because it's so easy to flip from one video to the next, and they're all very short. That's why they're called shorts, right? Because they're all like 15 seconds, 30 seconds of something, and then you end up just going to the next one, finding the next thing that makes you laugh. But I've been there, done that. What else? What else does procrastination look like for you?
For me, sometimes it also is because I mean, it looks like when you feel so overwhelmed of the many tasks that you are trying to get done, that you just like you sit down and you're like, oh, like I feel overwhelmed, and you end up like not doing some stuff, or like doing them like later on, or it takes you more time to do them or finish them because of that. And yeah, that's why sometimes like you feel really stressed about it. And sometimes procrastinating is just a way to get through that overwhelming feeling. It's not because you're being distracted, but it's because like you're so hyper focused that you just feel like, whoa, that's so much. At
Mm.
least for me.
No, no, I hear that because something that this happens to me. It's like when you become overwhelmed with taking action on something. You know, you maybe there's been a deadline put onto your plate or a project that you have to do. You have to edit. You have to go somewhere. You have to speak to someone. Whatever it might be, you end up for me I end up losing energy. Like my energy just zaps. Like it could be the beginning of the day. You might have just woken up and everything, then you open your phone, you get that email, you get that phone call, whatever it is that comes across, and then all of a sudden you have to do something that you don't want to. In a way, almost, it's kind of just like a part of the job or part of the role. And because you're not excited for it, for me, my energy just zaps away from me. All of a sudden, I just want to like sit down, lie down. I was like, oh, okay, I need to eat something, or I need to distract myself, or I have to get into the zone. It's just very, yeah, de energizing. I think is the best way that I can put it. But one thing that I've realized when that happens is that when it comes to the output, the result, right? Because I procrastinated, you end up being more stressed out because you've put it off. And like in high school, when you have an assignment due and it's like kind of a big project, and you could have probably done it in 6 hours and you were given like a whole month, but then you leave it the night before the assignment is due, and you end up what's that word when you just kind of like cram everything and kind of just try to uh what's that term? It's been a while since I've been in school.
You pull an all-nighter, like,
You put yes.
yeah.
That's it. You pull an all-nighter and it's like you just try to finish everything. It's like, wow, I got that done in like 5 hours when I could have just been more relaxed because I put it off, right? And then it may not be the best work because you put everything up to the last minute and now you have to rush everything. And at the end of it, once you've submitted you've submitted whatever you've created, you're like, I know I could have done better if I had more time. But then you had more time. You just didn't end up taking action. Have you experienced anything like that, Atibel?
I feel like as like when we were students, yes.
How about now, though? I mean, like, was it only when you were a student that you haven't experienced anything and just you left it all to the last minute? That hasn't happened to you in your adulting years.
I feel like a few times, yes, but not like recently, no, because especially if it's like church related projects, like you just need to make sure that it's like on time. But it's hard. Like I remember like because you feel like, oh yeah, I can get it done like fast. So that's why you postpone it. You feel like, oh yeah, it's a simple yet demanding task, but you're able to finish it in a small amount of time. That's why that leads us to procrastinating sometimes because we feel so secure, um so so sure of ourselves that we're gonna get it done. I mean, we are gonna get it done, but like, yeah, one way or another, we could have done it in a less overwhelming way.
That's true, right? Because you might have had enough time, but then there's something about it. And this is really what I want to ask everyone as well. It's like, okay, you might have had a lot of time, plenty of time, or plenty notice. Because, sometimes you don't get given that, and something that gets given to you today was due yesterday. It's like, guys, we have to work on this right now, or whatever it is, right? Because it was due yesterday. But most times, I hope you have plenty of notice. You get given plenty of leeway in terms of when you have to submit something or have a task completed by. But what stops you from taking action on that task? That's what I want to know. Like for you, Sister Bell, like those times when you've realized, looking back, okay, so looking back on your past decisions and actions, and you realize that you actually procrastinated, you held off taking any kind of step or any kind of effort onto that project. Why? What stopped you from taking action or doing something to work towards that task, that project, that decision that you had to make, maybe some research that you had to do, right? Some planning. Like what stopped you from taking any action? Is there anything that you can think back on? And our Ohana as well, let us know if you realize that there's something in particular that stops you from taking action on a task or a decision. But Sister Bell, over to you first.
I feel like some things that stop me from taking action are like the feeling of like feeling overwhelmed, as I mentioned earlier, because I feel like since I have like a lot of um responsibilities, like it's just hard sometimes to manage everything. So um I need to like filter out the things that I need to get done in an urgent matter, of course. But like when it comes to like more simple things, you feel like, oh, since you've been so overwhelmed, you feel like really exhausted, like you feel such exhaustion. So I feel like that's also one of the reasons why we I tend to procrastinate, I feel like. And sometimes also um is me being distracted in a way where, oh, I need to unwind. So that also leads me to like being distracted, and therefore like postponing or putting off certain tasks. And yeah, in correlation of like feeling overwhelmed, like sometimes even anxiety, like it's just like, you know when it's just extreme levels like of like stress, sometimes that comes to play. And yeah, I feel like um there's like many many reasons why like a person could like procrastinate sometimes, because you just really simply don't want to do the task. But I mean, there are boring tasks that we still need to do. So yeah, I mean, that's what I can think of on top of my head, KJ.
The boring task one is an interesting one because we definitely have what they call mundane tasks, like your kind of just everyday thing. It's not really exciting, but you know it needs to get done, like laundry, right? Or like those little tasks that you need to do, but it's not really exciting, right? Or at least for you, maybe to some others, like you need to know what is kind of not energizing for you. It's what's not exciting or brings happiness into your life. It's just kind of tedious or boring, right? So usually those things really can be a source of procrastination because you go, just do it later. I'll do something else first. I need to eat first. Let me just lie down first. I need to take a nap, like all of those things. Actually, before we continue on with this part, I just realized we've got a lot of responses from our viewers, our Ohana that's tuning in live with us right now, and already a lot of really good ones as well. So, Sister Bell, if you could just read through a couple of them, when we asked the question of like what does procrastination look like, we got a lot of really good responses there.
Brother Rod Kahayag said, "Oh wow, this topic is perfect timing. I've been procrastinating on my ASL video projects for my CPSLI class. I will submit this week." Uh, what's CPSLI, Clear Rod?
Kuya Rod like is the king of acronyms, right? So that stands for something, but yeah, it's for his class, right? So that's pretty cool that he's got a video, but he's been procrastinating on that. So let's see what comes out of the discussion, Kuya Rod, and hopefully we can all help each other out because I know each one of us is probably putting off doing something right now, but yeah. We'll see where the conversation goes. But what else have we got there? Kuya Rod also shares procrastination is so easy to do. I think that's one of the dangers with procrastination. It's just so easy to do it. It's just so easy to do something else, to take your mind off whatever that responsibility is that you have to do, or that decision that you need to make, or that research, or that, like Kuya Rod's um, part, the video work that he has to do. When Sister Bella and I probably knows a lot better on this. There's so much work to do to producing a video. Script writing. What am I going to say? How am I going to film it? Where am I going to film it? Speaking to the camera, editing, lighting, all of these things is just you start thinking about it and you become overwhelmed, and then you just rather do something else. But what else? What other insights have our Ohana been sharing?
Sister Isco Santiago said, "I procrastinate if I'm not sure about what I'm gonna do. I procrastinate when I'm not the only one to decide. I procrastinate when I feel overwhelmed." And she also said, "What I do to solve it, I ask questions, I consult authority, and I recharge." And I feel like, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes procrastination, like we tend to procrastinate because like we feel exhausted, or we trying to find a time when we feel burnt out or overwhelmed. So I understand. And thank you, sisters, go um for sharing that with us. And also, Brother Brian Torres said, "Procrastination for me is already feeling tired, even before I start or just by thinking about it." And that's so true. Like, that's so true, in my opinion, because I feel like everyone can relate to that. And Karad also said, procrastination does lead to stress, though. Um, and I mean, it does, because once you postpone many tasks, and you have to get a lot of tasks done at the same time, then of course you're gonna feel even more stressed about it. And Sister Tony said, "For me, it's laying in bed with no energy, knowing you have stuff to do." And Sister Kara said, "Procrastination leads to forget to do the task. Then, when remembered, it's stressful and overwhelming to get it done on time." And then Tony also said, "You can do that in the morning when you wake up early." That's what we tell ourselves every night before
and then
forecasting.
and then you don't wake up early, right? And then say, oh no, I woke up late. And then you don't end up doing it. I get that. I've had that before. So, I'll work on that in the morning. I'll wake up early, and then you don't. And then you totally forget about it. And Ate Care, I also read this one from Ate Care. Procrastination leads to forget to do the task, right? Then, when remembered, it's stressful and overwhelming to get it done on time. It's so true. Like, that's what happens when you procrastinate. You go, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it in the morning when I wake up. You forget. You didn't write it down anywhere. No one's reminding you. Then all of a sudden, oh, that's due. I have to get it done. And now like you have no time, and now everything's almost more stressful than what it originally was. Now, going back to our the last question, what stops you from taking action? You know you've got time, maybe you've been given this task, you have to make this decision, perhaps you have to do some research. What stops you from taking action? And one of the things for me is it's got to do with the task, the activity, the project, the decision, whatever it is. It's it's not something that brings me happiness, right? It doesn't make you happy because it's kind of like a responsibility that is due for somebody else. And if you're not in a place that that makes you happy, that doing that activity makes you happy, brings you joy in your life, you kind of see it as a chore, and chores are boring. Well, chores are something that we don't like to do most of the time. That's why it's called a chore, right? So if it's something that doesn't make you happy in some way, that's what I've realized for me. When I don't want to do it, but I have to do it, or like I should do it, right? When you should do something because you should do it because otherwise you lose your job, right? Now there's some sort of like resistance there, and that makes it more challenging for you to get inspiration out of it. Whereas if the activity or the task was something that you want to do, you want to shoot that video, you want to, you know, do that project, it brings you happiness and joy. If you're able to to switch over to that kind of thinking, it just seems a little bit more easier to take the steps necessary and avoid procrastination. That's from my perspective. That's at least what works for me, right? Sometimes it's hard to find inspiration to be inspiring to other people. You need to find it takes effort sometimes depending on the person. For me, I know it takes a lot of effort to me to be in a mindset to be inspirational, right? When we're creating things, especially when it comes in our line of work of videos and editing and shooting, you know, the creativity part sometimes doesn't come or doesn't flow to you as easily. And during those days, it's hard to kind of like pick up the camera, turn on the computer and edit, start shooting, whatever it is, right? Because you just don't have the creative juices flowing at the time. But uh, I also see a few really great responses on this from our live chat. So, Sister Bell, if you want to give your answers as well and also read some of live chat, go ahead because we've got a lot more to talk about.
Sister Isco said that what stops me if not giving clear instructions or permissions or training has not included the problem at hand. Something new. I'm afraid to make mistakes. And then I feel like this is also like true. When you don't know what you're gonna do exactly, you feel like, oh, uh like you feel kind of lost. That's why you tend to like postpone the
Yeah.
itself. And I feel like that's true, especially like in a work environment, that that can tend to happen. And our sister Des Asena says we miscalculate time, so we think there's still time when you're actually running out of it. And I feel like this is spot on. Time management is a skill. Like you really need to put that into practice or trying to, like improve every single time. So yeah, there really is a spot on like statement in my opinion. And Sister Isco said, the last thing I want is finish the task and find out I have to redo it. I'd rather take slowly and do it right. That's
Mm.
true. It's sometimes it feels frustrating or even annoying to redo a task because you haven't given clear instructions. But yes, I mean that happens. That's life. And also, Brother Rod said, I think not giving importance to the task, and that's true. Like when
Mm.
sometimes certain tasks like are easy, as I mentioned, or like are not as urgent as others, we tend to either forget about them and then remember, or we just like put it off for such a long time. And oh, Brother Rod said CPSLI stands for Certification Program for Sign Language Interpreters. It's a class given by New Era University for the church. That's really cool, Brother Rod. And I hope that you're gonna get it done by this week. As earlier.
But I
That's
also we have more to talk about here, but I really can relate to the one from our sister Des and also from the ISCO in terms of like when getting instructions, maybe you don't know where to start, right? You get given something and you don't know where to start, how to start, what's the first step. That makes it really difficult. And then when the sister Des mentioned about miscalculating the amount of time that you have available, and then you don't realize that you actually don't have the same amount of time. You think, oh, I'll put it off later, but then you actually have less time what you think. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about like how we can solve this and kind of like uh, change our way of thinking. But before we get into any of that, a quick shout out to Kap Priscilla Batan, of course, saying hello to us and tuning in from Rizal. Keep safe and well, healthy, and always God bless po to everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in. But let's take a quick musical break. Let's take a breather from our discussion and let's get the brain juices re-energized again. Grab your drink, your water, your tea, your coffee, whatever it might be. Let's listen to the next musical break. Sister Bell, go ahead. Introduce our next, our Faith and Melody Heartbeat segment.
so we will go on our uh next song, which is Guide My Heart, a cappella version, as well as Greatness of Your Love. So we hope that you enjoyed these two songs, and we'll be right back.
Maybe Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene are still setting up or getting those songs ready. Kuya Nico, Kuya Irene, let us know when our song requests are ready. But of course, to everyone that's tuned in, jot down if you have any song requests. The next question that we're actually going to ask has got to do with breaking your task, right? The activity, breaking your task into smaller steps. I think we've all heard that, even part of the opening song of the OBB that we have here on Faith and Melody, taking the baby steps. Shout out to Ate Tony for those lyrics. But breaking a big task into smaller steps, right? Is that something that has helped you, right? That's the next question that we're going to ask. So Kuya Nico, Kuya Irene, if our next two songs are ready, let's get that lined up. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We're going to continue our discussion after our musical break. Kuya Tex, take it away.
You've been there since the beginning. You have loved me from the start. You were always there to teach and guide my heart. As the world spins on around me, I choose which path to take. You always show me, Lord, which steps to make. Lord, please hear my prayer. Light my way as I walk to forever. Hold my hand, Lord, through the night. Guide me through the dark and help me shine bright. Hold my hand, Lord, and keep my feet on the ground. From you I'll never part, whatever comes my way, I pray. Please guide my heart. If I face more pain and sorrow and tread a path unknown, I'll have no fear, 'cause you will lead me home. The clouds may hide the rainbow, but like waves that fall ashore, you show me how your blessings overflow. Guide me through the dark and help me shine bright. Hold my hand, Lord, and keep my feet on the ground. From you I'll never part, whatever comes my way, I pray. Hold my hand, Lord, through the night. Guide me through the dark and help me shine bright. Hold my hand, Lord, and keep my feet on the ground. From you I'll never part, whatever comes my way, I praise. Guide
Your requested song. Our favorites. Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
Never will I let go of loyalty. Never will I let go of my faith. Never will I rely on what I merely know. I will depend on you. Lord, guide the right way. You show. Father, guide me on the path to salvation. Show me the solution when I am lost and in confusion. Remind me, teach me your words I need. That every time, Lord, guide me, always recall the greatness of your love. Never will I think I am wise. Then I am humble heart, I will obey. I'll pay close attention when you correct me. I will follow wherever you lead me, because you know what's best for me. You know what's best for me. Father, guide me on the path to salvation. Show me the solution when I am lost and in confusion. Remind me, teach me your words I need. Not every time, Lord, guide me, always recall the greatness of your love. The greatness of your love. The greatness of your love. Father, the greatness of your love. Never will I ever want never will I ever want and you I will never be and you I will never be for I can go on alone. You know it's true. Yes, I'll remain with you.
your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
And that was Guide My Heart a cappella version and The Greatness of Your Love. If you would like to listen to more INC original music, just hop on onto YouTube. We have INC original music channel as well as the Iglesia and Cristo production company channel. And we also have the INC playlist mobile application that is suitable for both iOS and Android users. And with that said, let's hop on back on to our topic discussion. So we mentioned about, um, what procrastination looks like for us and the various reasons why we sometimes, don't take action when it comes to our tasks. And with that said, about procrastinating and postponing tasks, um, how do you break the cycle? How do you help yourself when it comes to getting out of that procrastinating setting or mindset? In your experience, is breaking task into small steps helpful? Like, is making small tasks for you more efficient when it comes to um, doing some task or having submissions, Kuya?
I'm going to say this. It kind of helps for me, right? I think it's a step in the right direction because one of the things that, many of us mentioned earlier in the first part of our discussion, why we stop or why we don't take action is sometimes we either think the task is too big and we become overwhelmed. And because we become overwhelmed with the task and it doesn't give us the joy and the excitement, and it's something that has to be, we kind of see it as a chore, right? It kind of makes it difficult to start. That's one of the reasons why, if you're able to break it up into smaller tasks, you're headed in the right direction, right? So breaking smaller tasks helps. I think one of the bigger challenges for me is then still doing it. Right? Because you still gotta find inspiration, and that, you gotta actually go and do it. You need to do something, and if it doesn't bring you some sense of fulfillment or happiness, then it's still kind of hard for you to start. So definitely a step in the right direction for me. It makes things easier if you become overwhelmed with how much work you have to do, because the task might be film a 5-minute video of you doing a speech about something, blah, 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 right? But then in my head, the thing that gets to me is that, oh, I got to think about what am I going to say? Where am I going to look? How am I going to position the camera? What's going to be my background? How about the lighting? How am I going to edit this? Do I need any extra B-roll to make it more exciting? So much things goes through my head over a simple little task. I don't know if that happens to you, Sister Bell, but it comes through like things with work as well. You get given a new project, right? You get given a new activity, a new task that you have to complete for your boss, whatever it might be. And if you don't know the steps to do it, right, you just see one big, huge task in front of you that is going to be like, oh, why? It's like, I just want to go home. I just want to do something else. I've got so many other things on my plate. So it's kind of like trying to balance the amount of decision making. One of the things I've heard as well, and I've read over my life, over the past experiences that I've had, is that we each have our own limit on the decisions that we make each day, and some decisions weigh more heavier than others. And generally, once you've reaching your quota for the day, it's hard for you to make choices and decisions, right? So if you have to make a choice or decisions, you have to get the brain thinking on doing things, and it's something that generally is not exciting for you. It eats up more of your decision making quota that you have available, if that makes sense. So How about you, Sister Belle? I don't know if that's something that you've experienced, but for me, it helps a little bit, but still trying to get the inspiration to do it is a challenging part sometimes. But does breaking tasks into smaller steps help you out, Sister Belle?
For me, it is really helpful because, like, especially when I get overwhelmed by the urgency of the task, or how big of a task it is. I mean, you feel like you're stuck sometimes because it is overwhelming and it is stressful most of the time. So yes, it help ease the burden or even the anxiety that you feel of getting things done. But I mean, I agree with you that, like, of course, depending on the task, you still have to have the willpower to
The willpower to
to
do it.
continue. But if it's on a general side, it is really more efficient in my experience, because after getting one task done, I feel so relieved and motivated that it gets me going to continue and finish the rest of my to-do list. So yes, it is something that, in my experience and in my opinion, it really helps, because if you don't like seeing how big of a task it is, then just, help yourself in a way where you can get it done, but in small bits, in small portions, in a way that it's not as overwhelming as it seems to be. So, if you take those additional steps, or those required steps to help yourself when it comes to getting a task done, then you'll be able to get things done. Like, it's not something. Uh, it's not something that is by the letter, in terms of, oh, you need to do this, this, and that for every task. Every task is different, of course, but from a general point of view, uh, it is something that can help most of the time.
Most of the time. You still need to do the task, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes breaking down into smaller steps is to make a to-do list. That's and then you write all the steps, and then you tick off your new to-do list, make to-do list, and you can cross that off because you've made your to-do list. But then you actually need to get the task started. You need to get the momentum happening by doing something really simple, really small. So I think that's true. It does help in that sense, because when you see something and it overwhelms you in your brain because you just realize how big the project is, when you write it down on a piece of paper and just go, okay, these are the tasks that needs to be done to complete this project. And sometimes you see your to-do list is now make video, but then when you break it down to smaller tasks, now you have 50 things that you have to do. And you're just like, more overwhelmed, right? Because you know what I mean? You break down a big project into smaller tasks, and now you have more stuff on your piece of paper. But at least you can then organize it. Okay, today, I just need to do these two things. Tomorrow, I can just focus on this one thing, and then so on and so forth. So it gives you that blueprint, your plan. It gives you a plan on what you need to focus on just for today, right? I think that's the hardest thing is we focus on the end result. We focus on the big picture at the very, very end, and we just need to focus on starting, doing something simple, doing something small. It might just be to write it out, right? Doing that can get the momentum started. I like a couple of the insights from our live chat from our Ohana. Quick shout out first to Man and Flo. She's tuning in during her break. She's got a short break and she's stopping by. So thank you so much to Man and Flo. But here, and make sure you catch her on Thursdays. Man and Flo hosts Faith and Melody here on Thursdays. So Ate Isko says, for her, it does help her breaking tasks into smaller steps. Things like to-do list, journaling, and deciding to choose the work to take. Uh, for her, she says, I procrastinate, but it looks like the company that is a company that follows up with me and prods me to do simple steps. That's the job I take. She also shared here. keep it short and sweet. Right? Keep your to-do list short and sweet. Kuya Rod Kahayag also shares, breaking into smaller steps is helpful. He shares, I will kiss it. Keep it simple, smarty. Right? So keep it simple. That's the most important thing, right? That's a smart thing to do. And Manoflo also shares, I take breaks in between my church tasks that I do. If I can't think, I am hungry. So I take a break. Then back to it, then I am all good again. It's I've had that same thing where you just can't think because you're hungry or sleepy or tired, right? So if you try to solve one of those things, perhaps you can get some energy back, or maybe all of them. All right, you're hungry, you're sleepy, you're tired. Maybe get some rest, get some food in you. Take a short nap, not like not like a couple of hours. A power nap, right? And that can help most of us get back into our energy. And with that, I think and what else has been shared there? Small. Wow. Okay. Wait. Kuya Rod, as we know him, as the one that's amazing at creating acronyms, right? He's created one for our topic title, Small Efforts Matter, and made it into an acronym. So he's right here for small efforts matter, smiling more always, living life every day faithful, fulfilling opportunities, running through strongly, making all things triumphant every time responsibly. That's like a sentence. I don't know how Kuya Rod does it. He's got the patience to do that, Kuya Rod, but wow, that actually makes sense. So for those who are tuned in the live chat right now, you can copy paste that and save it somewhere because it actually is a proper sentence. I love it. Adiesco also says, keep it slow and keep it satisfying. Because when you like something done the best way, do the long cut first to understand the basics. Then when you level up, you can do shortcuts already. Yeah, like many times we like to try and figure out a quicker way to do it when it's the first time. When it's our first time doing that activity, we're already trying to find a shortcut, right? Just do it the long way first, and then you'll understand it. I think Ate Isko also shared earlier. I think I might have lost it. Know the ins and outs of it first, and then you can level up. You can slimline the process, the procedure, the steps taken, and you can make it faster. I've experienced that back during the time when I used to work in a production line. You're able to learn more of the steps, and you speed up like over time because you understand the process more as you do it more often. So that's very very true. But back to you, Sister Bell.
I feel like a lot of them are sharing um, great advice and tips in how to break you know the cycle of procrastination. So with that said, what are other things that or tips that have helped begin a task that you've been putting off? What are other like tips and tricks that you might have, KJ?
Other tips and tricks. Okay, well, tips and tricks from me. Apart from breaking things into smaller steps, which is could be cumbersome for some, and then you kind of like become overwhelmed with all the steps you have to do. I think the next important thing to do after that is scheduling, right? You need to work with your schedule to know what's coming up and what needs to be done and how much workload you have. Because I have underestimated the amount of work that's due one time for me, and the other responsibilities and other events and other tasks that I have to get done, meetings and whatnot. And then you don't realize how little time you actually have left. So that's why if you procrastinate and you don't realize you miscalculate your time, you end up running out of time and it becomes even more stressful. Scheduling, use some sort of calendar, right? Whatever works for you, whether it's writing it down on a piece of paper. I know many people that love that, something tangible, something that they physically write down, get it out of their head. They put it down on a piece of paper and something they look at beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day, whatever works for you. For me, it's mostly digital. For Sister Gem, it's mostly handwritten. So you need to know what works for you in terms of scheduling, knowing where your time is going. That's one of my best tips, really. Like break down your task into smaller steps and then schedule it. That's like it's step one. It's a two-stepper, I would say, right? Because if you write down the task you have to do, and you stop there, you don't know when you're going to start. You haven't given yourself the time. You haven't allocated it. As members of the Church of Christ, many of us might have duties and offices, right, where we have duties in the church. We know the occasions that we need to be at different meetings, at different events. Of course, when it comes to our worship services, that's one of those things that's always there in our schedule, right? So use your schedule for everything. Don't just focus on those other, on your duties, but use it for everything. Right? Schedule your life, plan it, because scheduling is basically planning. If you don't plan how you spend your time, you're going to waste your time and you won't know where your time goes. And that's why you can end up doom scrolling because you don't realize how little time you might have to work on whatever projects that is due from you. So that's one tip from me. There's many more, but let's see how much we can go through. Sister Bell, I want to hear one of your tips.
For me, yes, having a to-do list, and sometimes alarms help as well, because when you, like, when you're trying to schedule, like you mentioned, uh if during the day, like, you scheduled like certain task, or a lot, an amount of time for certain task, having an alarm is really helpful, because it keeps you on track with things. And once the alarm goes off, you're like, oh, it's either you snooze it because you haven't done it yet, or you're just aware that, oh, I should be getting this done in a more in a faster manner, because I need to get the other things done. So I feel like that really keeps you on track of things, and the environment you're in. You need to be in an environment where, like, you're able to, like, get things done, not where you're too comfortable, like, in if you're like on your bed or something like that. It's just a bit harder to get things done because you're in your comfort zone. And having a proper environment where you get things done in work, it is something that really changes up, and it makes you step up and improve your uh, no procrastination game. But with that said, Crew J, um, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if our team live chat has shared anything more, but oh, I just saw
We
here.
do. We actually have a couple of good thoughts for from this one. I like this one from Manang Flow that she shared here. I have a brain dump pad. She creates categories and the steps I need to accomplish that I need to accomplish them. Highlighting when I am done feels great. So I know people as well that love that. Again, pen and paper, right? I think for a lot of people, pen and paper, nothing beats it. And highlighters, like you highlight once you've completed something, and it feels great. She also added from Manang Flow that she has a planner calendar, which I write my entries and my brain dump pad. They are her tools. So you just need to know what tools out there works for you. And when it comes to being productive, right, the whole productivity game, right, should beat your procrastination game, right? Build up your skills on productivity, and it will trump your pro. I'm getting confused now. Your Okay, productivity skills are very, very important. So find out what tools works for you, right? Because for each one it's different. For me, it's a lot of digital things. For others, like Mine and Flow and like for Sister Gem, they love having things down with pen and paper and a pad. A brain dump pad, something I've done before when you just have so much in your head going on. You're thinking about so many different things. It may not even just be all about work. It could be about what's going to be for dinner. When am I going to get the car service? When do I have to go get my license renewed? When do I have to go to that meeting, maybe that interview, or work on this project, or work on myself? You got to write it down, right? Put it down somewhere digitally. Or Sister Bell, do you prefer pen and paper, or are you more of a digital tool person?
I'm I don't mind any, because like it's just helpful just to have a to-do list, but uh it's more handy to have it on your phone for me. So for me it's just more on the digital side. And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I like that. I think it's our generation, right?
yeah.
Depending on the generation, you might be more accustomed. You might be more comfortable. You might be more comfortable with digital tools, and others are more comfortable with pen and paper, right? Whatever works for you, that's all you just need to do. Smart goals, Kuya Rod said, use smart goals. So basically break down your goals, and with the whole SMART acronym. Sister Bell, you know what SMART means, right? What is the abbreviation for SMART goal? Do you know what it means?
I
Yes?
know,
No?
I know what it
Did,
is
it, did I
about.
put you did I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Um
But
it's
you
okay. So it has to be a smart, specific, measurable. I am just going off a guess here. Specific, measurable. It has to be measurable. What's the A? Attainable, right? I think realistic, and then T is timely. That's just my guess. That's why you can search it up online, right, to find out exactly what it is. But smart goals are very, very important. I know we've had a few topics here on INC Radio, right? Different satellites have covered smart goals, so make sure you can go to our YouTube channel and you can search that up. And at the ISCO, I like what she wrote here. I need someone to poke me, like, hey, do this for me. Because if it's just her, when she has something to do, most of the time she dwells on it too much, like endlessly. And I kind of have had that um, challenge too at the ISCO. Like when I have a project to do, I am just constantly dwelling and just thinking, and in my head, I'm just thinking about all this potential way to do it. But if someone distracts me, I get back on track quickly. So that's very important. I think, Sister Bell, you mentioned a little bit as well about the environment, right? Your environment is important because you don't have people that distracts you. Because if you have work to do, if you have things to get done, or even writing out your to-do list or your tasks, if your environment are people that's always distracting you with other things, and don't forget your mobile phone, your smartphone is part of your environment, and that is one of the biggest sources of distractions, because there's so much people on your phone that is ready to, wanting to grab your attention. So you got to be careful with that as well, because as soon as you open that up, you can quickly get lost with all the apps that we have on our phones now, and you don't actually get, it's like, oh yeah, I just have to check the date. Then all of a sudden you're you're on social media, you're watching this video, you're listening to that person, and then you've lost track of time. So you need to make sure that you also manage the environment, including what you are using your phone for, because that is part of your direct vicinity, your environment that you have there. And then with that, I think it's time to. Oh, Kuya Rod said that I got it correct. I got the SMART goals acronym correct. So awesome. But there you go. We are actually about to approach the wrap up of our conversation. But before we get to that final chapter of this topic discussion, because we've loved all the insights that we've been hearing, we're going to take a quick musical break. This next song that we'll be listening to is titled Never Be Alone. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be concluding our topic discussion after this musical break. Kuya, over to you.
Where are the white clouds? Where is the sun? Do all these dark clouds bother you? It is alright to fall down when you don't even know why you feel blue. So come here near me, with me. Let Let's take it easy. Count from one to three. Open your eyes, and you are with me. Trust me with me. You're not alone. I will be your friend. In this battle, you'll never be alone. Where are your white smiles, the shine in your eyes? Does all the sadness make them fade away? I know it isn't easy, 'cause I feel it too. It's inside and you don't know what to do. So come here near me, with me. Let's take it easy. Count from one to three. Open your eyes and you are with me. Trust me with me. You're not alone. I will be your friend. In this battle, you'll never be alone. Oh, don't let sadness make you hopeless. Oh, don't let sadness make you think that you are worthless. Don't you ever feel alone. I'll be here for you when you need me most. So come here near me, with me. Let's take it easy. Count from one to three. Open your eyes and you are with me. Trust me with me. You're not alone. I will be your friend. In this battle, you'll never be alone. In this battle, you'll never be alone. Never be alone.
Welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. And as we are approaching the home stretch of our topic discussion today, I just want to say thank you to all of our Ohana, our live viewers, that's been sharing their insights, their tips as well, in terms of being able to manage those overwhelming activities and tasks that we have to do into simpler steps, something that they can handle themselves, so that we can even do the small things and make it really simple. But as we know, maybe some of us have fallen into this little trap about trying to do everything perfectly, right? Sometimes striving to always do everything flawlessly perfect can lead us to procrastination, or even progressing slowly, right? Just because we want to do everything all the time, we're focused on doing it flawlessly and perfect. So with that, I just want to ask for everyone that's tuned in right now, share a message for those who might be struggling to take action, even the little things, even the simple actions, or they're so much struggling to take action or make progress because they're too focused on perfection. What message would you have to those that might be going through that right now? Just the bell while we're waiting for our Ohana in live chat, because I know sometimes it takes a while to type out your answer, especially if you're using a mobile phone, but we do appreciate it. Just the bell over to you. What would be your message to those who are struggling because they're too focused on trying to be perfect?
Always pray, like when it comes to making decisions and like big projects, always pray for guidance. It is good that you're trying to improve yourself and strive for perfection, especially as Christians. We should always strive for perfection, especially in our faith. And when it comes to other things like projects or other tasks, um, don't be so hard on yourself to the point where you're not able to even start with the project itself. Because sometimes we put such pressure on ourselves when we're trying to get things perfectly or in a manner that um, is perfect, at least to us. Sometimes we put so much pressure that it's just we feel overwhelmed by our own expectation. So, with that said, um, don't don't put so much pressure on yourself and try to take things in a more like take things easy, but not in a way where you're slacking, of course, especially if you're trying to strive for perfection. But look at this bright side where as long as you get the task done in a way that you were able to give it your best, give it your all, then that's already that's already a good thing, right? That's already a productive thing. And yeah, as long as you always include God, He will be able to help you out in those small but also big things.
I love that. That's a great reminder. That's a great reminder for everyone. And definitely one of the things that we always should be including, or the first step in any endeavors that we undertake is to ask our Almighty God for help, for guidance, right? For whatever it is that we need to do. That's very, very important. And also the motivation to get through. Sometimes that's what we need as well to feel that and to remember that. That's why it's one of those important things for us. If anyone out there, for me, my message would be if they are struggling, is that action speaks louder than words. Right? Yeah, taking action is very, very important because results don't come without any action. You can think all you want about doing something, but unless you actually do something, yeah, nothing's gonna happen, right? Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to result out of it. If you want results, you need to take action. So, perfection, I mean, I am one of those people. I actually have had many bouts of uh, being too focused on trying to do a task and start it off perfectly and flawlessly to avoid any problems down the road. Right? You can do all your best to prepare, but then there's always something that is going to catch you off guard. Right? So that's why whatever the undertaking is, make sure we include our Almighty God in prayer and then just take action. Write it down, write down the steps. If you've got a plan, like what was mentioned earlier, I think it was Ate Isco that shared this, is that just do it the long way first, because the second time around, you'll just end up doing it a little bit faster. And then the next time that you have to do it, you'll be faster still. You will improve the more times that you are able to do something. So the more times that you hold off starting doing anything, the longer it's going to take you to get faster, to be more slimline, to be more, you know, uh, to be more efficient in whatever the task is. For us, I'm sure when it came to taking photos, taking videos, right, the editing part, and all of those things, there's a bit of a learning curve, right, when you have to learn anything new. But the more times that you are in that environment that you have to learn those things, then you just learn, oh, the next project or the next thing that you do, you just end up becoming faster. What's another example of that? Can't think of it right now. Actually, yeah, I can't think of it at the moment, but if you get what I mean, the more times you do something, oh, here's an example, something that we can all relate to, food. If you've ever cooked a cake or baked a cake, let me just say bake the cake, right? The first time you're probably following the recipe. Maybe you're not following the recipe and you make mistakes. You learn from those little mistakes. That's why I said that earlier, you're either winning or you're learning. right? Learning comes from action and analyzing what came out of it. So don't be afraid to make mistakes because it's an opportunity for you to learn and go, oh, I should have done it this way. And then so the next time that you do it, you'll be a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more wiser when it comes to that undertaking. And then you learn that, just part of life, you can apply that knowledge onto other things. That's why it's always said that knowledge is only potential power. It's how you use it and if you use it. So use your knowledge and take action. And so, with that, I mean, I really love the discussion that we've had today. Hopefully, everyone's have gotten something out of it. Sister Bell, I'll just pass it over to you in case there's any final messages or insights from our Ohana that's been sharing so much tips with us today and sharing a lot of, different perspectives, point of views. But do we have any messages regarding this final part of our topic discussion?
Sister Isco Santiago said, like inactivities the brethren will attend if notified, or if they know where and when to go and who to ask. My advice to myself, just do what you can every day, one step at a time. Simple steps go an extra mile. And she said, don't skip classes, be interested so that no matter how small or big, no matter how easy or hard, you won't give up. Just pray for what you want, God will lead you there. And Brother Rod said, baby steps, victory is there. Let's grab it and let's grab and get it. God will give us success if we work hard. And those are some wonderful advice right there. It is really inspiring. And I hope that no matter what task we are holding off or putting off right now, now we have the energy and the inspiration to finish them. I hope,
or to start, right?
yeah,
Or
or
to
even
start.
yeah.
One thing that just popped into my head as an example, because I'm trying to think of other examples in terms of just starting, doing something small, right? Doing a simple small act to get the momentum going. One example that comes to mind is going outdoors to go for a walk or go for a run, right? You may not feel like doing it, right? You may not, oh, it's like, oh, so much effort, so much effort to go and walk around go walk around the neighborhood or something like that. But a simple, small effort that you can do just to get the momentum started is just go over and put on your shoes, right? Put on your walking shoe, running shoes, whatever, your sneakers, right? Just put it on, tie up your shoelaces, and stand there at the door. And then, okay, I'm ready here at the door, right? Grab the keys, unlock the door, open the door, and be like, oh, okay, the door's already open. I already got my shoes on, right? Let's see, I can see outside, I can smell the air. And then you might take a step outside your door, right? And then by the time you know it, you're probably already starting your walk or starting your run around the neighborhood, right? Just start with one thing. One of the things that challenging for me was getting back into exercising. So start with the warm up, right? Start with just stretching. It's like, oh, okay, I'm already warm. I might as well do this first one. Or I'll just do it for like 5 minutes. Oh, I've already done it for 5 minutes. Oh, I'm okay. And then you have to start with any small thing because it builds up the momentum to continue to keep on going, whether it's a book you have to read, whether it's a project that you have to start, just like starting something, even if it's as simple as a to do list, which I think has been echoed a lot. Journaling, writing a to do list, right? Breaking it down to baby steps, right? That is a small step that you can take to start the momentum of you taking action. So never forget that. And then don't be afraid to do that. Right? Don't be afraid to fail and everything else we can leave to our Almighty God. At the bell, I'm not sure if there's any other insights I might have missed from. Sorry, I just read Kia Rod's latest message. Like put on the sneakers, then go back to sleep. I mean, like if the bed's there, maybe, but most of the time it's not, right? I don't know, but for us, our sneakers are like right there by the front door, so it's kind of like hard to go back to sleep. But is there was there any other messages there? But I'll pass it over back to you, Atibel. I've had a great discussion here. I think I've learned a lot from everyone, from you, and also from our Ohana there in live chat. Couple of laughs and everything else. Great way to not only end the month of November, but also to start this new week, right? We got this new week, new activities, new projects that's laid out for us, and hopefully everyone has picked up something during our discussion to help you take get that reminder to take even just a small effort, a small step, the simple things to get the task done. Over to you, Sister Bell.
With that said, I feel like a lot of us were really inspired, and I hope that you've taken a token of, inspiration from this discussion. And with that said, let's go now on us on our verse of the week, which is what the Bible teaches on improving work ethic. This is with Brother Dexter Manglikmot, a minister of the gospel.
Work ethic. It's a quality that many people attribute as a factor to their success. And when a new year comes around or a person gets a new job, a student enters the next grade or stage in their education, people do so with the hopes of succeeding and not wasting the opportunity that they are being given. Friends, we know that all of you want to succeed and not fail in your pursuits. Much better than a New Year's resolution or short term goal or a to do to get checked off the list is what the Bible says about work and how to approach any endeavor that we undertake. It teaches about a principle that servants of God should live by. I'm Brother Dexter Manglekmot, and in today's verse of the week, listen to what it says here in Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the grave where you are going, there is neither working nor planning nor knowledge nor wisdom. The truth of these words should motivate us, not only to believe in them, but also to live by them. During this time of pandemic, the fragility of our life has become more evident. So while we are alive and in whatever we do, like what the Bible says, do it with all your might. For the Lord's people, they take this to heart and give their very best, not only in their careers or education or in their care for their family and loved ones. Above all, they serve the Lord with all their heart, their minds, and their souls. May this verse give you the inspiration to do your best today in everything you do. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay faithful. God bless.
If you have any questions or would like to know more about our faith inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, feel free to contact us on our various social media channels or email us on faithandmelody at incradio.net. And with that said, I would like to thank everyone who was able to join us today. It really means a lot, and especially for those who were able to share with us their insights and experiences. It really brought us all together today. And I would also like to greet my family, my mom, Aterica, Arian, Sam, Dan, and everyone, you know, um, especially if you are trying to get things done or even start to get things done, you can do it. You're not alone. And yes, KJ?
Yes, you have us cheering for you as well. Whatever task that you need to get done, you have your Faith and Melody Ohana cheering for you, so you can do it. But most importantly, don't forget to include God in your prayers, in your plans, in everything that you want to accomplish in this life. And He will surely give you everything that you need to accomplish that. With that, I just want to give my special thanks to all of our Ohana, everyone that's tuned in, everyone that's supporting the show, whether you're just listening in, going back your day, and that you're tuning in during your break. Thank you so much. And of course, especially those who have been able to share their insights as well. Thank you so much to everyone. Of course, to Sister Bell for being with me, for joining me on today's broadcast. Also, shout out to my wife, Sister Jem, and our daughter, Lena, and to everyone out there that continually supports Faith and Melody. If you're currently watching us or listening to our replay episode, which is on every Sunday night in the Philippines at 10 p.m. Philippine Standard Time over there. Join us. We're inviting you. Join us live here on INC Radio DZM 954 YouTube channel. We are here live for those in the Philippines every Tuesday to Friday at 12:01 a.m., which is midnight Philippine Standard Time. But for many of us who are tuning in from the US, right, or from Europe, we are here every Monday to Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we do always encourage everyone to join us live so you can join the fun and share your insights with us here on the show. Tomorrow's topic here on Faith and Melody is titled Intensified Together. So make sure you join our sister Carolyn Shank for that episode. And thank you again to everyone, especially all of our listeners and viewers, and of course, our technical team there in the main studio. Kuya Nico, Kuya Irene, maraming salamat po. Thank you so much for helping us throughout today's broadcast. Special thanks as well to our sister Des Asenas and to our brother Edwin Asabuke. And most of all, our deepest gratitude and thanks to our CEBSI President, CEO, and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Irano Manalo, and the Executive Minister of the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, our beloved brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the church, and most especially for this platform where we can reach out to our friends and loved ones all over the world. Yes.
And for our next program, we have Iglesia Ni Cristo and the Bible. And today's topic is the right relationship with God, hosted by Brother Jam Bautista and Brother Ariel Evangelista. And for our closing song for today, uh, it will be the INC original music entitled Unstoppable. I'm your sister Belle and your KJ over there, and we hope that we've made the start of your week extra meaningful. Please invite more of your friends and join us again tomorrow on the next episode of Faith MLD. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye and
Thank you,
thank
everyone. Have a great week. Take care.
Onwards to further all victories, moving forward to make more history. Let's see more than a century. Evidently, this is heaven sent, God given energy. We're never getting tired. The bar we raise it high. We're not just trying to get by. More properties we buy, more countries we reach, more converts baptized in the race that we're running. Man, it seems that we fly. In God we trust, on Him we rely. Always giving the strength, the faith, the light, the love, the hope. The life that we need, all His miracles we see for the INC. His goodness and power can be seen in our victories.
With God's help, we're striving. With God's love, we're shining. All the blessings God gives, all the blessings He receives will only help to further our victory.
With God's help, we become unstoppable. With God's help, everything is possible. All of the accomplishments are remarkable. Others can hate, but they still can't stop it though. We move forward, never ever stumble. With God blessing us, we still stay humble. And through the struggle and all of the trouble, our work we redouble. And look at what it's come to. We're global now, we're not done yet. Working before the sunrise and way past the sunset. From where the sun rises to where the sun sets, always putting in work, that's what His Son said. We're going farther than the seas and beyond our limits because God is on our side. We will never be finished, our hands keep on working and we still stay winning. Made it to 100, that's just the beginning.
With God's camp, we're thriving. With God's help, we're rising. All His teachings He bestows, all His teachings will oppose. We march on and on further our victory. Thousands of brethren who are studying His teaching. Millions of fellow men who are learning His teaching. Yeah. Through the worship building, standing tall. This is all evidence that He won't let us fall. The Church of Christ continues to grow with God's great name made truly known. More than 100 years of God's countless blessings. Everything made possible. More than 100 years of His love never ending. Through the good and the bad, we remain victorious. victorious. We return all the praises to a God so glorious.
Ito ang INCRadio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo.